So I am so pumped, you guys. Tracy is like the president. She does not ever want to get on a Zoom. She's like, I'm nothing special, you guys. Like, I'm like, oh my gosh, Tracy, share your tips with us. And so we're actually doing this competition that we started like 3 days ago, as a team, as like a leadership team. And she's like doubling our points. Okay. She's over here making us look like we don't know what we're doing, but she's just killing it. She's leading our leaderboard. And I'm just so proud of her. So I was like, I need you to get on and share some of your tips, share your story. I just think like a lot of people can, if they can't relate to you, they know somebody who you relate to and that they might be inspired to reach out about the business. Because I think so many of us limit ourselves on who would be interested or the type of mold that we put people in, of like, oh, this business is for, people who are really good on social media or for people who, are in their 20s or 30s or whatever, but you've just like breaking every single stereotype and I love it. So can you kind of share a little bit about your story and how you got started?
All right. I've told this story many times, but not on here. Basically, and this is the key about sharing your stuff, because if somebody had not shared Megan Carter's video, I would have never seen it, and I wouldn't be sitting here today. So that is the key about sharing, because there's always somebody out there that needs to see it that you would never expect. So that's how I got into it. I seen a video on her keto coffee, and being a travel nurse, I wanted it. I mean, I searched Facebook for this Megan Carter. There's a million of them, and I messaged all of them. Do you have this coffee? I wanted this coffee so bad. So I finally found her. I got the coffee. She said, well, you ought to get the distributor kit and get the extra product. And I'm a big online buying person. I said, yeah, give it to me. I'll take it, but I'll never sell anything. I just want the coffee. And she said, oh, yeah, whatever. And I said, no, seriously, I won't ever sell this. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't get on Facebook. I don't do any of that. I keep to myself. I don't want to be around people. And then I started having results with this coffee, and people started asking me, and they're like, well, where can I get it? And I said, oh, and I tell them the story, and I said, well, wait, I am a distributor. I did buy a kit. So here, let me sell it to you. So I sold it to some people. They started having results. And then I'm like, damn, this stuff's really working. I'm going to try something else. So I did. I tried the other stuff, the thermophyte and the fat fighters, off the wall. So I thought, maybe my daughter's pregnant. I want to take a couple months off. Maybe I could make a few extra bucks just to like have some spending money. And so I went back to Megan and I said, all right, let me see what you guys got. Let me see these videos and stuff. I want to pay a little more attention. And then I did, and I was like, I can do this. And that's what I did. I opened my Facebook up. I got, just started sharing my own results. That's what it is. It was my own results. And then my friends' results, and it just took off. And it was the best thing ever, because now I've been off 4 months now, and I don't know if I'm going back to work. I mean, I don't have to. I miss my nursing job, but I don't have to. So it kind of went from there. But that's what I tell all my distributors when they sign up. They're like, I never could do this. I could never do this. This isn't what I would do, or just give me 30 days with you. Let me show you, because I was the same way. And I totally surprised myself. So you never know. Let's see. And so many of my distributors have surprised themselves, and I love it. And that's what keeps me going, is their momentum keeps me going and gets me excited. So I don't know how it's happening. It just keeps happening. God has blessed me with this.
I love it. So, okay. So how long after you got your kit were you just like chilling, trying the coffee before you were actually like, okay, let me try something else?
Let's see. I started August 15th. It was actually, it had to have been the end of October that Megan messaged me. Well, I was getting orders. So what I was doing was I was getting orders and I signed my husband up. He didn't know he didn't know he was a distributor till I told him he was a diamond. And he's like, he said, well, at first he goes, well, why don't you just sign me up too? And I said, no, you've been a distributor for a while now. I've just been working it for you. And
Oh my gosh.
so it was the end of October when because I had signed my husband up. Then I was getting more orders, and I thought, well, I'll sign up my daughter and get her started. Maybe it'll be something she would want to do down the road, not me, but her. And so I signed her up. Then I signed up another. This is when we had to have 5 for a Ruby. Well, then my other sister signed up. Then I signed my mom up and thought, well, I'm still getting orders. I'll help her out. And it was the end of October, and Megan called me. It was October 31st, and she said, Tracy, you need one more distributor. You got all these orders. Because I was doing some triple thread orders, and that's what everybody wanted, what I was using. And she said, you need one more to go Ruby. I'm like, what's Ruby? I didn't even know what Ruby was. And and she's like, that's the first promotion. I'm like, what? And I've been missing this. So then I'm like, oh, so I did. I got one more, an amazing distributor joined me, Stacy Morrison joined me, and I knew she'd be awesome. And she, I messaged her. It was like, Stacy, you'd be great with this. She joined me, and we were like, yes, this is how it's going to start. That was at Ruby. My check was a couple $100, and I was excited with that. But then,
let me pause. So you weren't mad that your check wasn't $500 as a Ruby, because I know a lot of Rubies who got some checks and they weren't the average of $500. And I'm the same way as you. I remember when I got my first check, it was $34, like my first ever check. And you guys would have thought I really made $3,400 because I was like rolling up to Starbucks like I owned the place because I was ordering a venti. Okay. So like, I just think it's like important that everybody realizes that she started with a grateful heart. She started feeling like, dang, like I was excited about that couple $100. Like she didn't worry. Like, this wasn't the average, right? Why didn't I make more? But she was literally grateful. Okay, continue on.
Well, yeah, my first check was only like $45. I was excited about that because that paid for my coffee, which is what I wanted. And then the next one was a couple $100. But I was also getting the $100 fast start bonuses from my distributors. So you got to figure that in as well. That was an extra $500 at that time because it was 5 distributors for Ruby. So I was excited because I remember calling Stacey going, look, man, I made a couple $100. I've made 400 in fast start bonuses, and I was excited. I was like, I can't believe this. Because I did the unique kit way back when, only for the discount. I never sold it, but I never made anything off of it, really, if I did sell anything. So, this was the first time I've ever done anything that actually provided me with actual money. I was like, this is crazy. So then I kept going, and it just kept going. Then my next check was $1,500. Then the next one was freaking $5,000. Then the next one, and I don't even want to tell you what this month was. It was we've gone to town. Let's just put it that way.
I love it. And you're going triple diamond this month. You're not that far away.
Oh no.
And what I love about you is, number one, that you're so humble. And what the other thing that I love about the way you run your business is you're just like really focused, and you don't like look left or look right. Like you do what you want to do. And yeah, do you get inspired? Yes. But like, do you because you're just kind of like, well, what I have to lose? And you just have fun with it, And I think so many people forget that piece of it. Yes, it's work. And yes, there are things that you have to get done. There's a 6 list that you can go through. But at the end of the day, it's really, you join, you are having fun with this because it's more than what you expected, right? And I feel like you're always talking about like, I never expected this. And I think so many people forget to remind themselves of that. Hey, you guys never expected this. If you're on here and you met amazing people, that's something you didn't expect. If you're on here and you've made $500, that's probably not what you expected. It's probably more than you expected. If you're on here and you've made $20,000, it's probably more than you expected. And at every level, it is so important to remind yourself. I have to remind myself of that, you guys. Like, I have to remind myself, crap, poor me. I didn't only made, $25,000 this month. I didn't make 30. Poor me. Like, okay, like, let's really put it into perspective here and see how ridiculous you sound. And so at every level, it's super important to kind of understand that piece of it. And I think, Tracy, that's been a huge reason that you've been and consistently successful and consistently moving, because you haven't got distracted. Like, you've just stayed in your lane, what you're going, where you're going, and you're going. Like, it doesn't matter who's next to you or whatever, but you're taking your team and you're going. So I love that. So how much weight have you lost with the products?
33, and I've just been maintaining there. So, but I did get my Thermoflight X today.
Yeah.
It came in the mail, and a couple of my distributors got theirs, and a couple customers. Today was an awesome day just for that. I was like, thank you, Lord.
I know.
They got their Thermoflight.
I know. Can you talk a little bit about like what you're doing, number one, to sign loyal customers? Like, what you think their top 2 tips are to sign customers?
Well, I'm like I told you before, nothing special. What I do is it's about, this business is, to me, when I got into it, because like I told Megan in the beginning, I'm a travel nurse. I make $8,000 a month. I don't need the extra money. I just wanted that coffee. This extra money, yes, is a freaking blessing. It's paying off our camper. It's paying off our property. It's giving me a college fund for my granddaughter. It's giving me time with her. But that's not my focus, right? My focus is my most thing that I get out of this business is the people I meet, the people. And I have met more amazing people, even not even customers, but by opening my Facebook, and the people that I add are variety. It's not just random. I specifically pick people who I add, like people with the same interests as me. Whether it be, I mean, if any of you go to my wall, I have cows. That's all I post about: my cows, my granddaughter, my woodcrafts, my garden. That is it. That's all you see. Those are the people. I add people that I can talk to other than just about It Works. And so when I do talk about It Works, or I'm talking about my results, they see me as a real person, and they see that, okay, you actually used it. I know you on Facebook, but I've watched you and I know you're real, and this is working for you, so I do want to try it. And that's where a lot of my customers come from. Yeah, I may have added them months ago, but I've developed a friendship with them, or I got their interest enough to follow me, that type of thing. And I just constantly post me using these products. That's the key thing. Today I did throw a few out there because we worked on the farm all day, so I can't really post any good me using them, but I just threw up some random ones today. But so don't look at today's if you go to my wall. It was a spammy little one. But I was stressing because I didn't get any orders today because I was busy. But you got to make time for your family too. So I had to promise my husband that day. But with customer wise, that is a thing. You got to get personal with them. Don't when you're messaging them, be sincere. I mean, you want to help them, because I don't want to sell something that's not going to help them. So I want to know, how much weight are you wanting to lose? If you're only wanting to lose 10 pounds, then we're going to go this direction. If you're needing to lose 75, then we're going to go this direction. I'm not going to sell you something you don't need, but I might tell you about some other great stuff we have that you might want, that kind of thing. And so I'm just real with them and honest, and find out their budget, because I don't want anybody going broke. I know how I was when I was searching for stuff and buying stuff, and then it didn't work, or I threw money away or whatever. I know how they're thinking when they're talking, and you just got to just put it out there and be like, I know, I've been there, and I'm telling you, this stuff is real. I mean, these products are amazing, but the key is using the product. You got to use them.
Yep. I know it's so funny, you know, people hop in the business and, you know, they spent $20 on the kit and, you know, it's like they don't want to put their auto shipment on or they don't want to, you know, and it's like, okay, but that's you have to believe in what you're doing, right? And it's not like what came first. Like I didn't try the products before I got started, but right when that thing came in, I was sharing my results. And when I wasn't ready to put
Yeah.
my stomach out there on social media, I would private message people like my results. Um,
That's what I did in
yep,
the beginning.
yep. And one of the things that, you know, I think is really important that we recognize about, you know, for those of you guys listening about Tracy and what she does, if you didn't pick up on it, is she uses her skepticism as a way to relate to potentials. Okay. Because she's saying, yeah, I get it. I know, you know, I'm not trying to get you to go broke. Like, I know how you feel because she felt that way. Okay. I think one of the biggest mistakes I made when I was first starting this business is I would get so defensive about every comment
Mm-hmm.
that somebody would make. They would say, I don't have enough money. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't have enough money? That's why you joined the business. And I would get pissed. And then if they, you know, said, well, though that's expensive. I'm like, no, what are you talking about? Our products are not expensive. Oh, I don't have enough time. What do you mean you don't have enough? Like I would get pissed. Like, oh my gosh, I'm skeptical. What are you skeptical about? You're broke anyways. These are things that I would literally think in my head. Okay. But what Tracy is doing is she's remembering how she felt before, and she's using that to her advantage to talk to people. Okay. So that is like such a big thing. If you do not pick up on what she says, like, oh yeah, when I talk to people, like I just tell them like, you're skeptical. So was I, like, you know, it's normal. And she's just like, okay, yeah, like bring it at me next because I felt that way too. Next, because I felt that way too. And so I think that that is so important when you guys are listening to listen in on that piece of it, because I know I didn't have that ability when I first started. And if earlier you can catch on to that and really just people, the main thing people want to feel is they want to feel like they're being heard. Okay.
Right.
So you don't want to brush over anything that they say because you're nervous about how to respond and having the perfect response. What the most important thing is to say is, I totally understand how you're feeling. And just like we always talk about, like the feel, felt, found rule, right? I totally understand how you feel. It's funny because I actually felt that way before, but what I found is this. Okay. And
Right.
so you're just making them understand, I hear you. Okay. I mean, how many times have you guys been like irate on the phone with anybody's customer service, whether it's ours or whether it's somebody else's, and you're just like, this is such BS. Like, why can't I get anybody on the phone? Let me speak to a manager. And they're like, ma'am, I totally understand how you feel. And you're like, you do? Thank God. Like, you know, you're fine. Like somebody's finally hearing you. Right. And I think that that's so important, is to just making sure people feel heard. And so like, even if whatever excuse it is, you guys, like if it's, they don't have enough money, they don't have enough time, they don't have that, you guys probably felt that way before you joined. Okay. You probably felt that way. You probably waited to message the person you enrolled with because you didn't think you had time. You probably waited to message, you know, about or message them back or whatever. So remember and tune into that before, instead of feeling like you have to defend something, because you don't. You don't have to defend anything. Because if you know that it's true, that's true, that's true, right? That our products work and our business works, you're not going to have to defend anything because you know. And if they don't want it, next, next,
Exactly.
and next. Okay. Because there's thousands of other people out there. There's so many fish in the sea. So, you know, it's important to kind of pick up on that. Okay. Sorry. I just went off on a little rant there.
Well, that's exactly what it is, though, because I had, for an example, today I was talking in one of, because I do keto, so I'm in a lot of keto groups, and I have my own keto group, but I don't usually talk in those keto groups. But if somebody's asked something like, you know, what kind of coffee or whatever, what do you put in your coffee, you know, so I'll respond. Well, then I said, you know, I just messaged her, so I'm like, I'm not going to put it in that group because they'll tear you up. They will eat you up. That group will. And so I did, and she's like, um, well, this and that. And she says, well, I don't think I need her or need a cleanse or this or whatever, because we were talking about her being stuck. And she goes, are you trying to sell to me? And I said, No, I said, I could care less if you bought this stuff or not. You asked, I just telling you what I do. And if you're not interested, that's fine. And move on. And I tell my distributors that too. The new ones get upset and discouraged because they're like, I talked to so many people today, nobody wants it. It's okay. You keep going. You just keep going because they will. And the more you post, they're waiting for you to not post about it anymore. The people that are watching your page, they're waiting for you to not post because they're ready to say it didn't work. It's not going to happen because it does work, and I'm going to keep posting about it. You're going to get tired of seeing me post about it, but you're probably going to go, maybe I should try that. It's still working for her. And they'll come around. You just got to be patient.
100%. I actually had a girl message me after almost 4 years. And, you know, she was like, okay, like she's literally been my friend since like high school. And, you know, she just messaged me. And then I have a girl, she might be on here, but Presley, she messaged me. She's like, I've been watching you long enough. And I was like, okay, like I went back and I saw when we were friends. January 2017 is when we first became friends. And it, you know, it's 2 years. But everybody is at their own pace. And when people say, oh my gosh, I messaged 100 people today and, you know, I didn't assign somebody. And I don't know, somebody said this one time, but I'm going to steal it. It's like, you messaged 100 people. That is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know how many seeds you planted? And the day you guys plant the seed is not the same day the flower sprouts.
Exactly.
But the more you plant, guess what? The better chances are you're going to have more that grows. And so, you know, even on days, like I'll see God like dropping me signs all the time. I'll be so busy one day and like not have a chance to get out as many messages as I wanted to get out or whatever the case might be. And he'll just send me a seed that I planted, you know, number of years ago or days ago or months ago. And I'm like, okay, cool. Like, thanks. Like that was a seed. And I become so glad that I plant those seeds. And so if you haven't experienced that, it's probably because you haven't been planting enough seeds or you just joined. Okay. So don't be scared or discouraged when the results don't show up now, because there is a science to this business. And if you do what, you know, we're talking about and what your upline teaches you to do, it will happen. Like it doesn't just happen for certain special types of people.
And I want to say something right there, because I used to, when Megan would say, you do this, I'd be like, I am not doing that. I am not doing that. That's not me. I'm not doing it. And I wasn't getting anywhere, because I wasn't doing it. And then I thought, okay, I am going to do it. I'll do it for a few days straight and see what she's talking about. And then I did. And then I kept doing it. And then I kept doing it because I realized, okay, I can do that. It's not that bad. Then you realize, and that's why I tell them I was the same way. I thought the same thing. Just listen to me. Just give me 30 days. Do what I tell you for 30 days. Just call me crazy, but do it. I'm guaranteeing you, it will happen. It will. You just gotta be patient.
I love that, like, you won't give up on your distributors, because I think I
love my distributors.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't, not that they don't love their distributors, but I think they get so discouraged. I always say, it's like, have you ever listened to the song, like, You Remind Me, like by Usher? It's like, you remind me of the girl I used to know.
Oh, yeah.
Right. I feel like some of us have that with like distributors that come into our business. If you're a little bit more seasoned, or if you've seen a lot of people come and go, it can be very easy to be like, oh, this is going to be another girl who just quits, or this is going to be another girl who doesn't do anything, or whatever. But like, I love what you're saying is, you're like, okay, just give me 30 days. And like, you trust that process so much that you're willing to bet on it. Like, and I think that's what we need to get a little bit more of, is if we're learning how to train our teams, if you're like, dude, just do this for 30 days and it will work. Like, they're going to be like, dang, she really believes that? Like, okay, I'm going to do it for 30 days and then try to prove her wrong. Right. Like, I remember one time Aaron told me, go for 10 no's. See if you can get 10 no's. And I was like, I can get 10 no's in like 20 minutes. Let me just send all these messages. It took me forever to get 10 no's, because she was like, maybes don't count and no replies don't count. And so I was like, oh my gosh, like I thought I was getting so many no's, but I really wasn't. And I think people just
Right.
know that you believe in them. And I think that I love that about Tracy is that, you know, even what she's saying right now, like pick up on it, you guys. She's like, I just tell them like, do it for 30 days, like, and see what happens. Like test me. And I promise you it will happen. But you guys have to have that belief inside of you about the business to tell somebody,
Right.
do this for 30 days. And I promise, I didn't think it could happen for me either, but I promise you will see something happen. Your check's not going to be $4,000 at the end of 30 days, but you're going to see something
Right.
from your work and from like the time that you're putting in. So I love that. Okay. So let's talk about like, how do you message people?
I honestly don't really cold message anybody. They come to me. I'll talk about it enough. They'll ask me or they'll comment on a post. So I don't specifically cold message. Even for my host post, I was telling Megan that the other day. I was like, 'cause, is it Carrie Nero? Never that she was on the other night. Yeah, Cassie, and she was talking about how she cold message people for host. But I'm like texting Megan, I've never done that, and she's like, only you, Tracy, wouldn't do that. But I just would post about it and have them comment, and then I know they're at least interested. Um, I may cold message people that have posted before or something, but very rarely do I, unless it's like what I said today in that keto group. I seen somebody that was either struggling with their weight loss, or they were stuck, or they were talking about their coffee. I'll private message them, but I don't want to come off salesy, because I know if somebody private messaged me like that, I'd be like, oh no, they're trying to sell me something. I wouldn't even listen to what they had to say. So that's how I think about it. What would I, if I was on the other side, what would I think? Um, and then I add people all day long, and then somebody said, well, what do they? I've never really had anybody go, do I know you? Maybe 1 out of 100 every so often. And I probably shouldn't say this on here, but this is what I tell them. Oh, my niece was on my phone playing, and she thinks that I need to be friends with everybody on my suggested friends list. So we must be in a group together somewhere. But bless her heart, I have made a million friends from her doing this. So nice to meet you. I apologize. And they're like, oh, okay. And we become friends. And so, that's how that works.
I'm totally stealing that, and I'm going to just insert
Hey,
my
it's true. She does do that. Not all the time, but it has happened. So I'm not lying. It just may not have happened at that moment. But
I love it. That's so good. That's so good.
And then with getting LCs, start small and the upgrade. Cassie knew. That's exactly what I've been doing. What she said is just upgrade it. And normally, if they don't want the rest, you still got that thermophyte order, so you haven't lost everything.
So you do the thermophyte, and then if they're agreeing to it, do you get their card info first before you offer to upgrade?
No, I send them, and I can send it to you to post it. Well, it's the same thing that Cassie had. I tell them about the thermophyte X. It's $36 a month. Then either they don't respond right away, or they'll say, oh, okay. Then I'll say, well, how much weight are you trying to lose? How much are you wanting to lose? And usually they'll come back. Average, everybody's wanting to lose 20, 30 pounds. So then I send them, well, this product will do that. But if you want to really enhance your weight loss, I really recommend this cleanse, and then and the fat fighters to add to it. And then I tell them at the end of that, I just say, but that's just an option. A lot of my customers start off with all three. Then the second month, they'll just do the fat fighters and the thermophyte X. And then the third month, they kind of reevaluate to see what they want. And then they will go off of that. So then they realize that they have the option of changing their order every month. Because some people think, I'm stuck with that all 3 months. They don't even hear anything else you say. So you got to make it clear to them that, you do have that option to change, and it's totally up to you. And well, I only want it for 1 month. Well, you don't want to do
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
that.
I love it. I love it's just like how much confidence you speak. You're so like black and white. I love it.
Well, it's because they work.
Yeah.
They work, and I know they work. That's why I'll talk to you, and you will buy it because it will work. It does work. I'm proof it works. My friend Nikki is a distributor. Her before and after picture would win that contest. I
Yeah,
mean, it's
I bet.
amazing.
I bet. What about like, so somebody asked, how do you address the issue of people saying, I don't have money?
Um, I tell them, well, it's only $36 a month. If you just want to start with the thermophyte X, if you can always change it later down the road when you got some extra money, or um, when you want me to check back with you, something like that. And then they see that, oh, okay, I'm not just getting mad and being like, okay, see you. And I'll give them some options, or I'll say, well, why don't you host the post for me? And we'll see if we can get any orders. And if we do, we'll sign you up and I'll put those orders under you. They'll be yours. And maybe you can start making a little extra money. And I'll get distributors that way. Because it helped me, so it could help you.
I love that. I love that. It's like you're so like no pressure, but you're very like direct. So I love it. Okay. So how did you get over, like, did you ever like have the fear of like, what are my friends going to think of me?
Half of my distributors are friends of mine that I've worked with for years, and they know me. I wasn't a people person. I didn't care what anybody thought. But I kept to myself for the longest time. I didn't like to put myself out there because I didn't have the confidence that I would have like at work and stuff. I just didn't want to be that person. And I was a little nervous at first, opening my Facebook and then being that people thinking that I'm selling stuff. So I didn't approach it that way when I first started. I didn't like I just posted my results, posted what I was using, and kind of slowly grew it from there. And then now I post all day long, and I don't care what they think because it's helping myself and my family.
Yeah.
And I would love to help them too if they would just open their eyes a little bit and their mind. I mean, it's no different than buying off of Amazon, except you're talking to a real person that has used it and can tell you how it works. I buy off of Amazon. I bought every diet product there is, right down to FinFin. That's showing my age. Because, and not, I mean, I didn't know if it worked, and I'd spend hundreds of dollars on that stuff, or the hair vitamins. Hundreds. I didn't know if it worked. I never talked to anybody, but I would buy it. So, wouldn't you rather buy it from somebody that you can talk to and has done it? That's what I tell them.
Yeah,
Like,
I love that.
you can go buy your hydroxycut. You're going to spend just as much.
Girl, I was the same way. Hydroxycut, lipozene, you name
Oh
it.
yeah.
I mean, I tried everything on the market, and all it did was give you heart palpitations.
Yeah. Then I was researching as a nurse, researching different pharmaceuticals. What if I mix these together? Would it make fin? If I took this supplement and this supplement, would it work? I mean, that's how crazy people are about wanting to lose weight. You
Well,
don't need to do that.
it is crazy. I was actually researching because somebody has asked me like how does like Thermophyte X compare to like other diet supplements as far as like caffeine. Their hydroxycut has 400 milligrams of caffeine. You guys,
Ours has 37.
ours had 37. Like, no wonder my heart was palpitating. No wonder my heart was literally coming out of my chest. But you don't know these things. And so when people like start like maybe asking questions or getting a little finicky, just kind of like put it into perspective a little bit for them and be like, listen, like I'm here as a resource and I want to help you get all the information that you can. Because like, that's the reason I'm here. So if because if you go buy off Amazon, it's somebody who's never tried the product when you call in and ask questions about it. But with me, you get like a person that's going to either help hold you accountable or, do whatever you need me to do in order to maximize your results. And so always know that like we are the advantage for customers. Like like having us as like people that can be, advocates information, knowledge, all those things. Like we are those things for customers. So don't ever get embarrassed by anything that you're saying as far as like when it comes to promoting these products or helping people understand, because a lot of times people have questions and they wouldn't have asked them if it was like they're buying it on Amazon, but they just want to know that you will get them the information and that you care,
Right.
that you believe in the products. And so if you respond that way, they're gonna kind of be able to respond back. Okay, somebody asked, what do you say when people just quit responding or say, no, not right now, but it's not because of money?
I if they had showed interest for me to even message them in the beginning, I used to keep a list on, and I will write it down. I'll keep a list of potentials to message them back. Like give them a month or whatever, and just say, hey, I've got a spot open. I just thought I'd check back with you, see if you're ready. And I have gotten customers from doing that by keeping track, because life happens, people get busy. But I did find I started doing this, and this has helped a lot this month. I started this on March 1st. When I'm messaging somebody and they tell me, well, I don't get paid, well, I can't do this right now. I don't get paid till March 15th. Okay, well, I only have so many of these spots left, but if you want, I can set a reminder to check back with you and see if you want to do that on the 15th, see if you're still interested, or check back with you, follow up with you. And I'll set it right there in my messenger thing. It's at the reminder, so like the meeting, and it'll say that date and time. And it has worked very well because I'm getting reminded myself, because I get sidetracked. You get so many people. So that reminder pops up 3 days from now. It'll pop up and say, oh, TFX meeting. Oh, that's right. I forgot about her. And I'll message them and be like, hey, I still got a spot left. Did you want to grab it? Yeah, I do. And that has worked amazing.
Yeah.
And the collections thing
What's the collections thing for people who don't know?
that Taylor did about the hats.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, and I never did this before, and God, I probably lost a ton of customers, because when I'll get 15 to 20 hats one day. Of course, I'll plan a day because I know I'm not going to do anything else that day but be texting. And I'll get 15 to 20 people to do it on that day. So Facebook, this happened a few weeks ago. Facebook quits notifying you of those comments, because I went back. One of my hat people messaged me and said, did you respond to so and so? And I'm like, I didn't know they commented. So then I went back. There were 10 new comments on that from 2 days ago that I didn't know about. So I started going back through all of them. 5 here, 10 there, 6 there. I was like, holy cow. Messaging just everybody. I'm like, I am so sorry. Facebook didn't notify me. I apologize, but here's the information. And then they responded. So now, when Taylor brought up that collection, now anytime somebody does a host post for me, they post it, I get tagged, so I'm notified. So I go to the post, I like it, I put a couple result pics in it, and then I save that post to my hat collection. So then tomorrow, I will go back to each one of those and recheck them, see if there's any new comments. If there's no new comment, then I will throw another result picture or something on, just one to wake it up. And then it kind of starts it off again and refreshes it. But I didn't realize Facebook was doing that. I don't know how many host posts I've done in the past where I've missed all those people commenting, because after you get so many, it just quits notifying. So many host posts.
I know. One thing I've done like on big follow-up days for me is I'll go back and search like a key phrase that's like in my hosted post. So like my friend Kelsey or whatever, and search it by
That's a good idea.
and then go back through and double check like that I messaged. And a lot of times it's just following up, because some of those people like read it and didn't respond. And I'll just be like, hey girl, I was just thinking about you. Like, I have a spot left for this product. Like, because a lot of times you guys, like, how many times have you just not responded back to somebody because it's been too long and you feel dumb responding? Like, cause you're like I've done that so many times on text message. I'll be like, I'll just pretend I didn't get the message. Like, it's fine. But next time it messages me, but then it's like, they probably feel that way with responding to us. So just be like, hey girl, I'm so sorry we never finished our conversation. I didn't know if were you still interested in losing weight? If I've asked them what their weight loss goals are and they've told me and they still haven't ordered you guys, I always say, hey girl, did you meet your weight loss goal? Or can I do something to help you?
Or what I do on Fridays is I'll send out a message to everybody. Friday or Saturdays, I'll do this. I'll just go straight down my message saying, well, I'll type in the search bar PFX. So it'll bring up everybody I ever talked to about thermobite. And then I'll just send a message out that says, oh my God, this has been a freaking crazy week. I am just now trying to get back to everybody. I want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Were you still wanting to order, or did you have any more questions for me? And I send that to everybody. And then if they go, oh, we already talked about it, or I already ordered, I've done that too. I'm like, oh, shoot. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to send that to you. But just send it to everybody. And I always get a few orders from that, always.
Yeah, I love that. That's so smart. Okay, so for your newbies, how are you telling them to get customers, like their first 4?
Well, I know how I felt when I started. So I try to, if they're nervous about posting right off the bat, what I do is I'll have them host a post for me. Just throw something on your wall. Let's see what kind of response you're going to get. And then we can even 3-way you in on the message so you can see how I'm responding to the people. And I'll help them when they first start. I mean, most of mine, though, have jumped right in and just freaking taken off, which just floored me because I know how I was when I first started. I was a little nervous. And then I have some that their Facebooks aren't that open. So I want to work with them on opening it up. But I don't want to pressure them because I know how I felt. And I didn't, want to be pressured. So there's some that I'll just kind of work with over here. And then I've got these other ones that are powerhouses that are like ready to go. And they're like, just let's go. And I'm like, whoa, slow down. So the other day I pulled some of them together. Well, I said, whoever wants to do this, we're going to do a volume push. And so whoever didn't want to do it, they didn't have to feel pressured. And then I pulled them in and we did a post every 2 hours, a task in between. And they killed it. They killed it. But it got them used to posting. So the ones that weren't used to posting all the time, it got them used to posting. So they took one day, came out of their comfort zone and posted every 2 hours. And we just did different stuff. And that's what I do with mine. And then I have some that will sign up. They don't want to start yet until they tried the product. So I try to explain to them, share my results, share other people's, talk about how excited you are about yours coming. You can still do that. And then I have some that don't, they just kind of slowly work their way in. And then once they finally, which is fine, get to know it if you need to, and then we'll get you going. And now I've got them, now they're wanting to take off with it. So everybody's at their own pace. You just got to know where everybody's at.
Yeah.
Who wants what.
What's one thing that you wish you would have known when you first started?
When I first started?
Mm-hmm.
I wish I hadn't been so stubborn. I wish I would have started on August 15th because I would have been maybe presidential by now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or I had more coffee.
I love that. And I think too, it's just getting some confidence, when people first get started. And that's what, I always tell people I'm going to be more than happy to help you get a couple customers, but I would much rather teach you how to fish than just hand you the fish.
Right.
Because when you know how to do it, there's so much more power in that than me just handing you the fish, because next time you want to go get more, you can go get more.
Right.
So I think it's just a matter of kind of helping, people who are just joining, get confidence and let them know how much you believe in them, regardless of if they're wanting to walk, trot, or run.
Right.
Going at that pace that they're going, which is something that I love about what you're saying, because, I think that is a hard balance. And my next question would be is how do you balance that versus being well, I'm going for a promotion.
Balance with them. You broke up on that.
Oh, sorry. But how do you balance them just getting started and you like walking them through that process versus you, and you kind of in the same month being like, okay, but like I'm going for a promotion. So can you hurry up?
Well, yeah, well, for one, you only have 30 days to get that shopping spree. I want every DT I have to get that shopping spree because then they're going to get some products to try. That's just throwing away $100 right there. So we're going to get that. So I'll kind of watch them, and if we're getting close to that 30 days, um, I'll be like, you just got to jump in. It's like testing the water. Is it cold? Is it too cold? You just got to jump in. You got to jump in, and if you make mistakes or whatever, it'll happen, but you're not going to know until you jump in. And so I'll literally set them up. Throw this post up. Here's the response to use. Everybody asks the same questions generally. If you get an off the wall question or get stuck, message me before you respond to them, and I'll help you. And I will. My phone goes, all day long. All day long. 3 o'clock in the morning, I've got messaging coming in. But I'll answer them. If they need my help, I'm going to help them. But they just got to do it themselves. And so I'll kind of like excite them because it is exciting. It is exciting. Everybody's promoting. Now, if they see their promotions right in front of them, they want to run.
Mm-hmm.
And well, that's what I want them all to see because it's right there. And I know you're scared and I know you're nervous, but you're wasting time. You need to jump in there and just go for it. You're going to love it. And if you don't, you're not going to know if it's going to work for you until you jump in and do it. So
Yep.
you got to give it some time.
Yeah.
But that's what I tell mine. Just let's do this.
Yeah.
You can do it.
How many of your distributors would you say like were previous customers?
The majority of them were previous customers. Yeah, I think actually all of them are. I have a couple that no, I don't have a couple that aren't. I don't.
So like
I never really pushed for distributors. People always usually came to me, but when it was $20, then I'm like, you can't pass this up. So now I'm glad to talk about this even more. And so I talk about the $20 deal because that is freaking amazing. I was paying $99 all over the place for my whole family. $20, you get your husband, you get 2 friends. How easy is that? You don't need 5 anymore. You need 3. And your husband had better be the first one under you because that's how my checks got doubled right there. You've got to put your husband under you or spouse or whatever your significant other is.
Yeah.
Put them under you.
So like you've just really been doing a good job like keeping in touch with your customers. Like obviously now you have like a crap ton of customers to keep track of. Like how do you stay organized on that?
Oh my God. I wasn't good about that before. Well, I usually would keep pretty good track. I've got them all on my phone. But then everybody ordered Thermophyte X. So I've had no problem staying in contact with all my customers because they all message me on a daily basis. Where's my Thermophyte? Hi, I forgot about you. Let's get you something else. Well, that's how I got all these personal orders this past 2 months. It's a lot of my orders were personal orders they were adding on. But to stay that Connect app is where I'm headed now with my customers. Yeah, I'm still trying to feel that out, but you can group it, your distributors, your little customers. So I love that. And I put my own messages in there and save them. Yeah. So when I get a new distributor, I can just send it, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I love that.
And your tip.
So when you do, okay, so let's say you have somebody who's a customer, they've been in for like 2 months, got the products, are loving them. How do you introduce the business?
I've been posting about the $20 thing and it just got everybody's attention. Or I'll get to know that person enough from working with them for a couple of months that I think they would be really good. They love the products, which that's that's the thing. You've got to love these products because people can sense if you believe in your product.
Mm-hmm.
And those are the ones I love. Those are my best distributors. So I'll ask them, you want to make it? You can make a few extra bucks and just pay for your products, or you can make a few extra bucks and pay off your camper. What do you want to do? So, I bring it to them that way. And some of them don't want to. They don't feel like they have the time. But hey, I was a travel nurse. I still am. I just taking time off. But I was working 16 hours. Well, 12-hour shifts, 2-hour drive on each end, and then trying to sleep for a few hours and do this at the same time. It's doable. You can do it. You just got to figure out your schedule. Like, don't do a host post when you're walking into a 12-hour shift. But I remember being in a trauma, and the guy's stable, granted, and I'm back here going, I got to answer this person. It's 12 o'clock, and it's the last day of the month. I got to get that. I got to get this text in. That kind of thing. I mean, you do what you got to do, but
Yeah.
it is doable.
Exactly. Well, do you have any last tips for, people who maybe, I bet you a lot of people who are on here are new. Do you have any last tips like that you want to share?
Oh, just listen, watch the videos, the training videos. Do those 6 lists. The main thing is growing your market. Because if you don't grow that market, you're not going to get customers. I started with, I think I had 700 friends when I started doing this. I got 3,000 now. And it just grows every day. And if you don't grow that, the people aren't going to see your posts. They're not going to see you. And don't go right to your wall and the minute you become a distributor and put, I'm an It Works distributor on there. Because a lot of people, if I go to somebody's wall that's adding me, I'm going to go to their wall and look at it. If I see a little thing that says paparazzi underneath their name or whatever, okay, I'm okay with that because everybody does their own thing. But if I'll start to scroll down their wall and all I see are paparazzi videos. I don't see a thing about that person. I don't know even what they look like. What kind of life do they have? Kids? Are they family? Are they a person? I'm not adding them. You've got to make your Facebook wall a real person. That they're going to relate to that. They're going to accept your friend request and they're going to watch you. So that's my biggest tip. Don't go on and just be like, it works. And yeah, it does work, but you're killing it. You've got to talk about how it's working for you. Share how it's working for you. Put up those posts, but in between, make sure you're sharing how it's working for you or it's working for somebody.
Yeah.
Because people will just scroll right past you.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, real quick, is It Works in the past has been the wrap thing. And this is something I've come across. I didn't know about the wrap thing in the past. I know about what it is now. And I went through this with somebody today. She said that she tried the products years ago. Well, they're not the same product. And they're not the same product. So you'll get a lot of people that think of it back then, and they don't realize we have all these other new amazing products. So they might see that and just keep going, and you don't lost your chance to even show them what you got.
Yeah,
so,
I actually heard somebody say that what they said, people asked what company it was. They said like Keto Works, and Keto Works is like a separate, like is part of It Works, but it's a separate thing.
Yeah.
Like if they're like talking to somebody about the keto coffee, I was like, dang, that's smart.
Oh,
like,
is that what she said?
Yeah, she said
it work?
They're like a part of It Works, but it's a separate thing called Keto Works. Is like how she explained it. So she's like, our company is like Keto, like she called it like a subsidiary or something. Like how
I do capital letters IWG. They say, what brand is it? It's IWG. That's what it is. Because that's what it is right now.
Yeah.
And it's because if I say It Works, a lot of them won't let me finish. They think it's just the wraps. It's way more than the wraps. It's way more than the wraps. And I want a chance to tell them about it. So don't cut your nose, cut your face.
Yep. I love that. And you guys, I'm just going to kind of leave you with this. You know, it was funny because I was telling my friends, I was like, yeah, Tracy, she just acts like, she's like so humble. She's like, oh, I'm not going to have anything special to share or whatever.
I'm not.
And she said, like, because I was, Tracy was just like, well, I just do like what you guys tell me to do. And it was funny because I said that to my friend who's also in the business, and she said, yeah, but that's the whole point. She actually does it. And she's like, because the question isn't what to do. The question is will you do it?
Right.
And I think that we have to kind of check ourselves and like, yeah, we'll get on these Zooms, and yeah, we'll get on trainings, and yeah, we'll scroll through the team page, and yeah, we might post here or there, but like, are you being the distributor that you want to have on your team? And are you doing the things that you would tell somebody else to do to be successful if they joined? And that's the biggest thing, you guys, is just doing it. We're not talking about a 6 list this month that's different than the 6 list we were doing 5 months ago. It's the same. It's just a question of, will you do it long enough for the results to pay off for you?
Right.
And so I just wanted to share that because I thought it was really insightful. Is like, yeah, she probably does just what you guys told her. It's just the difference is that she actually does it. And I was like, yeah, that's probably true. That's probably true. There's some probably true.
I do it the best I can. And that's what you do. You do the best you can every day. And if you didn't hit it today, do it again tomorrow. I mean, there's some days like today, I didn't get as much done as I wanted. I did my 6 list. It was a quick one. It wasn't as focused, but it was quick. But that's what you do. You've got to do that. I'm telling you, it will pay off. It will pay off.
Yep. And I was
saying, I apologize on that. We've been on the farm all day.
I just tell people, I'm like, listen, you can't do everything every day, but you should do something every day. Because don't let the fact that you can't do everything stop you from doing anything. Okay.
And that's what happened.
Yeah. Is when people think, oh gosh, well, I can't get out that many messages, so I'm just not going to call it. I'm just not going to add to my network either. And I'm just not going to follow up with anybody. And I'm just not going to, it's like, I mean, I've been there before. Like, I get where people are coming from, but we just have to kind of get our minds in check and realize like, it's not going to be, perfect every day, but we just got to work with what we can and do the best we can. And I know that all of you guys are on here, and I'm proud of you guys for staying on and investing in your business. And if you have questions for me or Tracy or whatever, just feel free to contact us. Tracy's inbox will probably be blowing up because she loves people.
I don't mind helping anybody. I don't care who you. I have distributors from other teams that I don't even never even heard of messaging.
Yeah,
I'll help you if I've got time. I don't mind.
Well,
I want everybody to be successful.
Yep, everybody has the same opportunity. Well, I appreciate you, Tracy, hopping on and sharing everything and just kind of pouring into everybody and sharing them, how simple truly this business is and not overcomplicating it. Thank you guys for hopping on, and I'll see you guys later. Have a good night.